The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Life as a Canucks fan, it can be hard. And I'm not talking watching Quinn Hughes play getting rock hard. I'm talking about how, there's drama, guys. This is hard because there's always drama with this team. What's going on?
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs, co-host of Locked On Canucks and also a Canucks writer currently with the Daily Hive, Vancouver. Before we dive into it, we got to thank you for tuning into Locked On Canucks because it is your Canucks every goddamn day, man. We're part of that Locked On Podcast Network. They're doing the most for sports fans across the world. And for our show, again, we're not here without you. And we're also not here without the sponsors, baby. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. New customers can place a $5 bet, and you'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Life is hard as a Canucks fan, but it has been harder at times, right? We've suffered through a lot. If you've been on the bandwagon for more than just 24 months here, you have suffered through a lot as a Vancouver Canucks fan. Now, times are better in this market. We talked about that last night. 9 regulation losses in 31 games. That's pretty damn good for a team that has gone through as much as the Vancouver Canucks have gone through so far this season. But for a couple of reasons, things have just gotten way harder for the Vancouver Canucks. And again, I'm not talking about watching Quinn Hughes hard. I'm talking about actually they've gotten harder. And there's 2 things that we want to get into today regarding that. And I think one is Elias Pettersson and JT Miller. Can the two coexist? It's still a story, okay? I know me and Kyle were confident earlier in this week about how the Canucks can win a cup with Miller and Pettersson. But they still don't play at all together, at even strength. They haven't played on the power play together. They don't play penalty kill together. And Pettersson has no points since JT Miller returned to the lineup. So we'll get into a bit more about that dynamic and look at, kind of, again, other stars, and maybe not even just in the NHL, but outside of that, who've been able to coexist despite not being fans of one another. And again, can this work long term? Or, as Callum Sandu saying in the comments, just trade Pettersson, trade Miller, make sure with the captain, and Merry Christmas. Unbelievable. That is top-notch drama. And as El Primo saying in the comments, can actually have a soap opera about this team. It's just non-stop drama, I swear. And in regards to Miller and Pettersson, there's something I thought about that JT Miller said. This was a little over a year ago now when he was on the Cam and Strick podcast in the summertime. And that was that you could write a book about all the drama that happened in Vancouver when Bruce Boudreau was the head coach. And you think about that, and there's so much to the story that we don't know regarding JT Miller, the Vancouver Canucks, and the drama that went on behind the scenes. And again, you're starting to tie strings together with JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. Since that time, the team's been more successful. But again, there's something going on there with Miller being gone from the team. Obviously the fight at practice. Now they don't play together at all, despite the fact that they played together on the power play and on the penalty kill. And talk it, using the excuse in the media last night that no, they're just trying out different things. I don't know. I want to believe it's nothing, and these guys are going to be brothers, and that they're going to party it up in Vegas tonight, whether it's a win or a dub. They just get loaded together and let bygones be bygones. But until Pettersson starts to play better, or until they can coexist together on the power play or the penalty kill, like they've done throughout their entire careers together with the Vancouver Canucks, there are going to be questions about their relationship overall. And again, I think the other reason why things have gotten harder for the Vancouver Canucks is just in the division itself, okay? 2 teams in particular, and we'll get more into the matchup against the Vegas Golden Knights tonight. But the Vegas Golden Knights are a lot better than I expected them to be, and a lot better than other people expected them to be as well. You looked at the turnover on that roster, and sure, they were deep down the middle, but there's questions on the wings. The defense is getting older. Aiden Hill, he's kind of been up and down in terms of his health and availability as a starter. But lo and behold, the Vegas Golden Knights are just as good as they've always been, if not better. And Jack Eichel playing at a Hart Trophy rate for the Vegas Golden Knights. So I think, again, life's got hard for a couple of reasons, but life for me just got a little easier because my brother, I think, is back on the show. Kyle Bhawan. Can you hear me? Can I hear you? How's life?
Yep. We're good there. I can hear you. And man, oh man, so many things to talk about. Again, life harder for Vancouver Canucks fans. What? After a loss in Utah? What? Miller and Pettersson, the new Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant? What? Oh, the Vegas Golden Knights are actually really, really good again, which makes this division even more impossible. And man, oh man, it is what it is. Okay, happy holidays. Speaking of which, I got a gift for you guys. Okay, let's load it up. Okay, we got Mother Knucker, yo. Mother Knucker.
Mother Knucker.
Bro, you gotta give me a heads up, man. You talking about a gift? I'm over here fixing my hair. I'm in the bathroom right now, bro.
At least you didn't have your hands in your pants, man. Wait, are you on the toilet?
Nah, man. I'm at my wife's vanity. I was in the car trying to jump on my phone, and the damn thing wasn't working, the camera. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna troubleshoot this and go inside and jump on the laptop.
I like it. We need you, man. We need you for this because, I feel as if, again, I'm not judging here, but I feel as if you've been around a bit longer than Trevor Beggs and Kyle Bhawan, okay? Just a little bit, okay? Me and Trevor, 31 and a half years old. I don't know how old you are, but I feel as if you've seen many versions of a lot of sports teams in your life. And, again, we're bouncing all over the place on this episode. Life is hard. The Pacific Division is tough, but here we have JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. Apparently, Bruce Boudreau's talking about this too yesterday, confirming it as well. What's got to happen here? Because in my opinion, Mother Knucker, these two got to grow up. They got to grow up. They got to get their ish together and realize that you're playing with one of the best players in hockey right now in Quinn Hughes. You guys have an opportunity here. Let bygones be bygones and just athlete it the F up right now.
Yeah, bro, I'm right there with you, man. And like Beggsy, when he was holding it down on his own yesterday, he mentioned where there's smoke, there's fire. And I got to be honest, man, like obviously, you see in the Discord, I give PD a lot of shade, but I kind of do it just to mess with Greener because he's my boy. But honestly, though, man, there's a reason for it. Like you're starting to see guys that are, Farhan. Farhan is very respected in the journalistic society as far as like, Canadian sports goes. And he's coming out and saying like, you got to grow up. You can't act like a child. Like these are things that are being said about a man that is being paid $11.6 million a year. This is insane to me that we're having conversations about not only maturity but also motivation. I don't know, man. Like, listen, I do understand that PD is he's a rare commodity to have, but at the same time, what's to say that something just didn't happen that hasn't caused him to lose some of his value? And whether that's the tendonitis, whether it's just confidence, to be honest with you, bro, I really feel like when he had that little boat conversation with Elliot a year and a half ago or whatever, I feel like things just got kind of sideways ever since then. And I don't even know why, but you guys might be able to attest to that. But I just kind of feel like ever since him and Freeds were on that boat in Sweden, that something happened that it kind of elevated PD to in his head. He's like, I'm up here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm up here. I got mofos traveling to Sweden to interview me in the middle of the water because I'm that type of guy. And it's like, whereas Millsy would have been like, yeah, come to my house in Ohio or Pittsburgh, and let's have some burgers on the balcony and just chill and drink a beer. You know what I mean? It's like two completely different lifestyles and backgrounds. But you guys know me. I'm Team Millsy, as much as I hate to say it. But really, ultimately, I'm Team Canuck, man. I'm Team Canuck. I just want us to get better, and I want us to win a freaking cup before I die. That's it.
Yeah, I echo that. And in terms of, the Miller and Pettersson dynamic there, again, it's funny that we're even talking about Team Miller versus Team Pettersson. It should really be Team Canuck after all. And Mother Knucker, you're not the only one, because you look at most of the commentators, and I think most of them, most fans out there are Team Miller. Like most fans I talk to are Team Miller. And I don't know, there's something to love about a guy who just chucks his weight around and says it like it is in the media. Like that makes him more endearing. Whereas a guy like Pettersson, he's slender and he falls down and he's a bit quieter overall, but just sublime puck skills as well. And Look, I mean, again, this isn't the first time the two stars haven't been able to coexist. And I still want to go out and say that this is, mainly speculation, right? This is extremely speculative. We're not in the locker room and know what's going on, but there's a lot of storylines you can tie together here. And it's just weird that Miller comes back after a mystery absence and then the two of them just don't play together. A couple weeks after he shoves him at practice, it's again, to me, this isn't nothing. And Kyle, I know you wanted to bring this up as well, but there are other stars who have coexisted before. And I know I took a stab at it a couple of days ago, but there's a couple other examples out there as well, where stars have been able to coexist despite maybe not liking each other very much.
Yeah, look at the whole Shaq and Kobe thing, right? And sorry for the technical difficulties 10 seconds ago. I just completely cut out, but look at those guys, right? And this is where I'm about to go off, for real. I'm about to go off here because if it's an ego thing and these two are having trouble sharing the spotlight, because these things happen. These things happen. Again, look at Kobe and Shaq. Both those guys wanted the spotlight, especially Shaquille O'Neal, and it wasn't happening, and it got in the way, and the egos got inflated, and everyone wanted to be the man, right? When it came to that situation between those two people. And I'm over here thinking that if that's the case, then these two are weak, yo. Pettersson and Miller are weak because it doesn't take a rocket scientist or a longtime hockey fan to understand that neither of you are the man on this team, okay? It's Quinn Hughes. It's Quinn Hughes. And that's why I feel so annoyed that this is a conversation, and it may be true, because if these two quote-unquote losers, I'm paraphrasing, but that's how, if they're acting like this, they're losers. It's a loser mindset. If they're moving like this while they have one of the best players in hockey on their team, a player that's way better than both of you guys are doing this so wrong. And when I hear Farhan talking about, Pettersson may have to grow up, I thought he was more alluding to both these guys need to grow up. They both do. This ain't all on Pettersson. Yo, Miller, you got to grow up too. You got to find a way to mend this relationship. Get this ish together, because this is an opportunity right now. And dude, I can't believe we're doing this, and I can't believe there may be some substance here, but it's kind of hurting my soul, man, because I thought we had a way stronger team than this. Straight up, this team hasn't even started winning yet, and they're moving like this. Mother Nucker, isn't this concerning? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, he's muted. Oh, he's going off and he's muted. Unbelievable, man.
There you go. Oh, go off.
Hey, you asked me, you like, I don't know how old you are. You already know I'm old as hell. Listen, man, technology is a mofo. You know what I'm saying? No, but anyways, hey, so while you were talking, KB, I couldn't help but picture that letter A on Petey's sweater. What does that letter A indicate? What does that letter C indicate? Leader, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason that they only give so many of those letters to guys on teams, because there's only so many to go around, but really there's only so many leaders on these teams. If you honestly can look me in the camera eye and tell me that you think that Elias Pettersson is a leader or a top 3 leader on this team or any other team aside from maybe the Ducks or the Sharks, you're crazy. You're crazy. And I look at it like this. Take a manager, an assistant manager, an assistant manager. You have an assistant manager that brings you in, and they're just so soft and so kind, and they don't want to hurt your feelings. I need to be sensitive and all this stuff, right? Are you going to really feel motivated? I know I've been messing up. I know I haven't been doing well, but you know what? They were so kind and so soft and so understanding. Or are you going to get somebody that's more like Millsy, that's blue collar, that's like, look, man, we got to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps. We got to get our asses out there, take our lunch pail to work, and freaking go to work. I'm sorry, but I'm going to war with Millsy every day, 7 days of the week. That's just me. But I'm also a little bit more of a hard ass. So y'all speak on that.
Yeah, Mother Nucker, I think, again, it's Miller's attitude and the way he plays on the ice with that reckless nature. But, I will say in terms of Petey and his leadership, again, there's been other kind of quiet, similar type figures in Vancouver with Marcus Naslund and Henrik Sedin. And, we don't know their personalities inside out, but I don't know if Elias Pettersson is that dissimilar from those guys. And in terms of the way he plays on the ice, there's not many players of his stature that have begun to throw the body around like he started to do over the past couple of seasons. So, I see the try in Pettersson's game. Unfortunately, the consistency isn't really there. I think that's what bothers you. With Miller, it seems like the consistency is there. But he's almost trying too hard. He gets to that point of trying too hard where he starts making mistakes. Pettersson doesn't make the same kind of mistakes, but he drives you nuts with maybe the bit lackadaisical play at times. But I think let's pick up this conversation on the other side. I want to ask you guys the question: where does this go from here with Elias Patterson and JT Miller? Is it all going to blow over and la-di-da, hunky-dory, let's all hug and kiss and make up and go get drunk in Vegas? Or is something else more dark and sinister going to happen? And let's talk more about the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, nothing gets me harder than talking about a night in Vegas, baby. Let's go. We'll be back on the other side after shout out our friends over at Prize Picks and Select Quote. Today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. If you love sports, you're going to love Prize Picks, the best place to turn your sports knowledge into real cash money, baby. Whether it's hockey, football, or sumo wrestling, Prize Picks makes it easy to get in on the action. And now on Prize Picks, you can win up not 100, not 200, but 1,000 times your money. Plus, this holiday season, they're giving away $30 million in rewards during Picksmas and offering 2 free picks in December. And when your picks hit, Prize Picks makes it easy to cash out, and you can get your money in as fast as 15 minutes. That's 14 minutes more than I need, baby. On Prize Picks, I'm eyeing the hockey board, and look, I've said it. That's your code Kevin Langdon. Get some dubs for me. Elias Pettersson, get on the score sheet. JT Miller, keep picking up the assists. Let's forget about the drama, baby, and go win some money on Prize Picks. So go download that Prize Pick app today. Use code LOCKEDONNHL. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's right, $50 instantly. Prize Picks, it's time to run your game. The World Series, the Super Bowl, the Olympics, the world's top athletes get to play in these top-level sporting events thanks to one thing: teamwork. And teamwork can also protect your financial legacy. It would also help Miller and Pettersson out too, man. Come on. But at Select Quote, they got licensed insurance agents that are the perfect teammates. Talk about perfect teammates. That is the Select Quote licensed insurance agents. They can find you the right policy to keep your financial legacy safely in your family's end zone. You invest so much time to take care of yourself and be the healthiest, best version of yourself. Look at Mother Knucker, man. He's actually 105 years old, but he doesn't look a day over 35, man. Unbelievable, man. And you know what? With the Select Quote, you can get up to $5 million in coverage with no medical exam required, okay? No finger up the you-know-what. Unless you're into that, then I guess you can request it. But with Select Quote, they shop, you save. So get the right life insurance for you for less at selectquote.com/LockedOnNHL. Go to selectquote.com/LockedOnNHL today to get started. That's selectquote.com/LockedOnNHL.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks, sort of, kind of, not really a drama-filled organization right now. Yeah, again, I don't know if we're adding to the drama. I don't even think so anymore, because again, there's too many rumblings. I didn't even know Bruce Boudreau was talking about this yesterday in Toronto media. That got confirmed to me. Like, what's going on here? Real talk. And the people are going off. We got Mother Knucker, who's still muted, by the way. Oh, there you go. Mother Knucker, who's with us right now. Join the Discord, join the conversation whenever you want. It's Locked On Canucks. It's your Canucks, not just ours. And like I said, the people are here. We got to read some comments, man. Okay, so I saw something right here from Carmen. I don't even know if I'm it's crazy, okay? Look at this. Miller's the heart and soul, but even last night, he wasn't just skating around. He wasn't changing when he was supposed to. He was being selfish, and he had bad stints of doing that. We even had Trevor Beggs, who told me earlier this morning that maybe Miller waved off Patterson when he was supposed to change at the end of overtime and all this jazz, and Miller's doing too much. And now my head's hurting, bro. Now my head's hurting, because are they taking this so personal that they're putting themselves before the team's success? And are they doing this in a season where A, Quinn Hughes is playing like a legend, like he literally is the next Bobby Orr, and B, it's not just the Oilers here. The Vegas Golden Knights are really good. There's 50 games left in the season. This is going to be a trek. And if the ego is already inflating now after one good season where you got to round 2, who cares about round 2? I'm concerned, bro. Because again, Trevor, Vegas is back.
Yeah, 100%. And again, they were one of the teams that I was I wouldn't, concern's not the right word because I don't give a crap about them, but I was kind of thinking that they were maybe a wild card team heading into the season, right? They've lost pieces, they've gotten older, they're lacking wingers. Like, was Hurdle the real deal? And Thomas Hurdle, I think, is still, he's a power play merchant at this point, pawing up the power play points, getting dominated at even strength. But all in all, there's a lot to like about Vegas. I mean, what have they won? 9 of their past 12 games. They are rock solid at home. Speaking of hard, man, Vegas is hard at home. Unbelievable. So it's going to be a tough one for the Canucks tonight. But what I will say is that, Vegas, obviously, they dummied the Canucks towards the end of the Jim Benning era. They were a way better team. Things have evened out a little bit for the Canucks over the last little bit. So they picked up wins in, 4 of their last 7 games against Vegas. Really, these teams have kind of split games over the past couple of seasons or since Rick Tocchet came to the helm. So I hope this is a rivalry going forward. I said it last April. I wanted the Canucks to play Vegas in the playoffs when Vegas did sneak in as a wild card team. I would love the drama there. I would love the matchup. And, even though the Canucks are on the road, second night of a back-to-back, they're going to be definitely underdogs on the FanDuel line in this game. I hope they can put up a fight against Vegas tonight. And again, man, Miller and Pettersson, just get your heads out. If there is something going on, get your heads out of your rear ends and do it for Quinn Hughes, man, who's one of the best players in the NHL right now, going up against another Hart candidate in Jack Eichel right now. Stop wasting Quinn Hughes' season, man. And come on, get it together, man. Come on, let's do this.
Mm-hmm. Mother Knucker, like, are you surprised in Vegas's, I wouldn't say resurgence because I feel as if they took a 1-year quote unquote dip, but again, isn't this more of a cause for concern considering like the Canucks are just so inconsistent and now having some issues with their 1-2 punch down the middle?
Yeah, man, it's it's funny during the break. I'm sorry if I seemed a little off, but I was looking for my AARP card. I can't figure out where I put it. I don't know if you guys have that up there, but that's what, when you turn 50 in the States, you get put into the AARP club. It's like the retirement club. So cool. I'm just cracking a joke because Beggsy was saying I'm 106. So during his read, but so here's why I'm not surprised about Vegas. So statistically speaking, Theodore, Hannafin, and Pietrangelo are all having offensively poor seasons compared to what they've done in the past. That being said, they're also having statistically defensively positive seasons. So you're seeing that their plus minus, although I believe that can be a skewed statistic, but you're seeing their plus minus is actually better. And you're also seeing that defensively as a team, they're just playing more well-rounded. They're not looking to get as much offense from the blue line because they have so much up front. I mean, who the hell can add Thomas Hurdle at the last second of a freaking trade deadline and then get Stone back for the playoffs and then have freaking Hurdle for how many more years on a team-friendly contract? And he's actually playing really freaking well this season. It's like the rich get richer, right? And I'm not going to go into all that, but I'll just say this. In the past, one of the keys of our success when playing the Knights was Miller on Eichel. That was a matchup that for some reason Millsy always got the upper hand. And I think it's because he's physical and Eichel does not like to be pushed around. So I think that's going to be a big key to tonight. I also think that just staying big and clearing out the net in front of Lynx is going to be important. But I do think we're going to win tonight. I truly do. I think that we should have won last night. That was a defensive breakdown. It was a lapse on Millsy's part. But to go back to what some people were saying in the previous comment, I'll say this. I'd rather have a guy that goes out that is a leader physically, emotionally, even dare I say spiritually. But I'd rather have a guy that goes out and does that and has maybe 10 or 15% brain farts or just lapses when it comes to his hustle than a guy that just seems to just not have it. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I'm going to watch tonight, and I'm probably going to watch Petey really freaking close because I think Hurdle is going to probably be on Petey.
Damn, no.
And so, or Stone. They might put Stone on Petey. I don't know, even though he's not a center. But because he gets those matchups. But I'm really going to watch Petey very closely tonight because I think his body language, how he is without the puck, how hard he skates to get back on the back check, how if he's on the forecheck at all, if he's doing all that, I'll be happy. But if he's not, I'm going to be thinking that he's probably pouting and waiting to be shipped out of Vancouver. I don't know. That's just
dude. That's some of the energy I'm seeing in the comments, man. And Sportsnet just released an article about, ironically, about like defense, the Pettersson's defensive metrics like being really impressive this year, and like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, again, like this guy's like borderline Datsuk when he wants to be, but I'm with Mother Knucker, man. Like, a lot of people are hating on Miller for doing what he did in overtime. Like, you know what, man? I'm drooling. Okay, I'm full of appetite for having one of our number one centers because we have two of them. It's never gonna get better than this. That's the scary part too. If we trade one of these guys, but I'm drooling for one of these guys to just attack. And Miller attacks. He makes up for Patterson barely attacking. Like, look at Patterson's last 6 games. So civil, so safe, bro. You're getting paid 11.6. That's not cool. And now we're playing Vegas, and we need you. We need you. And this is the scary thing, Trevor. You're playing a grand team in Vegas. There's been an inconsistent season. Like, you want some consistency going into January, okay? Going into the Four Nations Cup in February. You want some sauce here. And if our 1-2 punch isn't getting it done right now and one of these guys gets shipped, Trevor, like, how does it get better? How does this team get better? How do we stay equipped to battle the Oilers or battle Vegas moving forward or battle the Kings? Like, if it's not Miller and Pettersson, I feel like it's not happening.
Oh no, he froze.
It's okay. He was. You know what? It's all good. Okay. You know what? It wasn't meant to be. So maybe Mother Knucker, I gotta take it from here. Okay. We're in Vegas tonight. Okay. We're in Vegas tonight. Miller and Pettersson. Okay. Win or lose, you guys go out tonight and get effed up. I'm sorry. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that. But yo, don't stay in your room, Pettersson, on Tinder or whatever, like on your smartphone, or don't do that. Go out with the boys and just go shot for shot and deal with it. Deal with it. The future of the Vancouver Canucks relies on those two. And again, if it is an ego thing, okay, maybe they need some ayahuasca, okay? For real. No, straight up. If their ego is getting in the way when they're on a team with Quinn Hughes, it's so laughable because these two players are not even on the same page. Okay. Like, I mean, these two players are not on the same level as Quinn Hughes right now. It's a damn shame. It really is, Mother Knucker. Like, again,
there's no communication. Like, something there's a breakdown in communication somewhere. And what's killing me is, like, I remember a few years back, I was coordinating and I was the captain of my beer league team.
There you go. Talk about it. I like this.
And I remember I had an issue with a guy, and it was kind of like this unspoken, it wasn't healthy. And everything was just building and building and building. And it got to the point, and I'm not even going to BS you when I say this, that I was overshifting. I was overskating my shifts because he was behind me on line changes. And I was basically saying, F you. Just like Talkett says, Miller is our FU. I was the FU on that team. Well, what happened is that after that game, we had it out. I mean, I'm talking like up against the wall, you know. I mean, it was bad. Potentially real bad. And you know what happened?
What?
The air got cleared. Bygones were bygones. And we went out and we won the last 6 games of the season.
Ooh, so Mother Knucker just broke it down. He broke it down right there, okay? Mother Knucker was JT Miller not too long ago. And what did he do? Him and Patterson, the Mother Knucker's version of Patterson, they got into a brouhaha. They iced it out. They got it out of their system. And that is so important for this team because they got Quinn Hughes on this team. I can't stop emphasizing that. I can't. And it's, again, it's pretty pathetic in my opinion. And again, I'll go back to what Farhan said. I don't think he's just talking to Pettersson when he's talking about someone needing to grow up. I'm telling you right now, Miller and Pettersson, they both need to grow up right now. Even though Miller's the FU and whatnot, he's got this attitude. We love it. We love his energy and all this stuff. And then we look at Patterson and we're like, oh, look at the polarity. It's so different. One guy cares more than the other. Dude, both of y'all just got to get on the same page, bro. Stop thinking you guys are the ish. Y'all ain't that good. Quinn Hughes is that good. If Quinn Hughes is able to be in that dressing room while the other two best players are just going at it, but Quinn Hughes is playing his ass off game in and game out, that should just set the tone. But because Pettersson and Miller are possibly not on the same page, it just, like, look at the starts to each game, right? You don't think that has something to do with it? That has a lot to do with it. When you don't have a cohesive room and you're going out on the ice, obviously it's going to take you a while to get your ish together. Anyways, Trevor, let's get the break, man. Mother Knucker, thanks for all your help today. We'll close out the episode reading the comments. I really appreciate you. I don't know if you want to shout out anything before you leave today's episode, but we really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, real quick. Before I go, I have a challenge I want to lay out for Young Static. I have a
Oh.
challenge because I saw his little thing he did the other day, and unbeknownst to a lot of people, back in my day, I used to be a Christian rapper. And I know that sounds crazy. My name was Skinny D. My name was Skinny D. So I have a challenge for him. I want him to pick his favorite Canuck player, and I'm going to pick my favorite Canuck player. I'm pretty sure you guys already know who it is. And if it's the same, then we'll figure it out. But we're going to have a battle, not a freestyle. We're just going to have a little rap battle, maybe a 30-second, 40-second thing. We spit some bars and all that. I say, let's try to get him to see if he's available at the beginning of the year. We'll do it for the new year.
There you go. Thanks so much, man. Our fans really like that, and I'll post that in the Discord. Again, join the Discord if you're watching this or listening to this. This is how you can become the next Mother Knucker, okay? For real.
It's not that special. Be good, boys. Go Canucks, go.
Peace out, brother. Okay, we'll get to the other side and read more comments. I know this has been a long episode. It's been an emotional episode, but Beggsy, that's life right now as a Canucks fan, man. I'm sorry. I thought we were supposed to be more composed. You know what I'm saying? And not talk about the drama like this, but it's overbearing right now, Beggsy.
Yeah, you know what? I would say Locked On Canucks isn't the place to be composed. It's the place to get emotional. I know sports is an emotional beast. It's an emotional game. Like, nothing makes me more emotional than sports, man. You know, I deal with life like a stone cold killer, and then it comes to hockey, and I'm ready to shed some tears, man. Let's try not to shed too many tears on the other side here after we shout out our friends over at FanDuel. All right, get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL, all in one place, baby. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, go check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. And Kyle, I'm not going to lie, your Green Bay Packers and your cheering ways, you killed my soul, man. You killed my soul. I don't believe my Seahawks at all anymore. You know, they're 3.5-point dogs right now at home to the Minnesota Vikings. And that line to me seems kind of small, especially if Geno Smith ends up not playing. So, man, I'm sad, man. I'd be betting on the Vikings to cover that spread right now, man. What happened to me, man? What did you do? Anyways, man, if you're betting on sports, go check out FanDuel.com to join today. Get over $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet on FanDuel.com.
One love. People, we back doing this, and that's finishing this episode of Locked On Canucks. We apologize for some of the technical difficulties that we faced today. That's life, man. It's the holidays. Hey, Santa Claus is traveling right now. I know it's early, but, you know, he's hogging up the Wi-Fi. Speaking of Santa Claus, hey, the YouTube viewership, hit the like button right now, okay? It's the holidays. It really, really, really does help out the show a lot. It helps us grow, and we want to connect more, man. We honestly think the people need us. I'm sorry. I got to be a little braggadocious right now. The West Coast needs us, okay? For real. You know what else? You hit the like button, and maybe Patterson and Miller will watch this video. Straight up. And if you're watching this video, Patterson and Miller, look at me in the eyes, okay? My name's Kyle Bhawan, and I approve of this message. I live in Surrey, British Columbia. I ain't afraid to say this. Both of y'all, shove your ego out the window. Y'all ain't shit. Quinn Hughes is the best player on the team. So don't even get jealous that one guy's getting more minutes than the other. One guy's Stop it. Stop it. Both of you can never be the alpha on this team. Y'all ain't Quinn Hughes anyways, so get over it. Hit the like button.
Unbelievable, man. And our commenters, again, best commenters, best listeners in the world. You know, they got some opinions on how to fix this. You know, La Primo points out in the comments, the ladder line was reunited for one shift last game. That being said, at even strength, no Canuck played less with Elias Pettersson last night than JT Miller. That ladder line was on the ice for about 20 seconds, and it was the only time they shared the ice at all last night on power play special teams. And then, of course, yeah, the waving EP off in overtime drama as well. It's a messy situation right now. And Elston Gunn taking it a step further, saying, put the ladder line back together permanently. Make these boys work together. Figure it out. This is not $11.6 million behavior.
I like it, man. That's, but genuinely speaking, like, jokes aside, like, that's a great comment. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, figure it out. Get on the ice together. And also, let's see the proof. Let's see these guys connect for a 1-2 punch and a 2-on-1. And if they don't hug after the goal, then we know. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But again, jokes aside, just figure it out. Play together. And bro, Trevor, you think I'm joking when I'm talking about this whole Vegas thing? Like that they're in Vegas tonight? It's pretty ironic, right? I feel as if it's never been this heaty between two players on the same team with the Vancouver Canucks. Like, it's been going on for a long time. Again, Bruce Boudreau now confirming it, okay? Like, we're in Vegas. Have some fun. Let loose. Have a talk. I don't know if Rick Tocchet ironically has to go out with both those guys, but I feel as if these guys literally have to have a cocktail or two tonight, okay? For real. And if it leads to them being bros and talking it out, sure. But if it leads to them also scrapping it out and getting that energy out, like Mother Knucker touched on too, that helped, their team take the next step. I don't know, but something has to happen in Vegas, man. Something has to happen in Vegas. Yeah, it's got to happen tonight.
Yeah, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I mean, I think Canucks fans they don't care how a reunion happens, but I think the important thing is these two figure out how to do it. And Carmen Graywall saying in the comments, Tocchet was known as the Kessel Whisperer, good for managing relationships in Pittsburgh and in the dressing room, and that it's on Rick Tocchet to fix this issue. Kyle, agree or disagree?
I mean, he is the head coach. Something's got to get, but like, what? Okay, Trevor, think about it. Okay, what does that look like? Like, is it like is he yelling at both these guys? Is he saying, figured the F out? You guys are holding us back. Like, isn't it an attack? Because that could be one way Tocchet delivers this message of peace that needs to happen, or it could be again Tocchet saying, "Yo, let's go after the game. You guys are coming with me. We're taking a limo. We're going to I don't know, one of these clubs in Vegas. We're gonna go see a rave on a Wednesday night, or it's Wednesday, right? No, Thursday night. And don't worry, all the drinks are on me. Let's figure. Like, I don't know. What do you think? Is it on Tocchet?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like Tocchet maybe tried to do something about it already this season, but we won't go into that because that, again, is pure speculation. I think Tocchet's got to play a role in it, right? As a coach, you got to make sure your team's cohesive and on the same page. And if guys aren't on the same page right now, I mean, at the end of the day, there's only so much he can do, but this is, I agree with Carmen Graywall. This Tocchet's got to wear some responsibility in fixing this issue. Like, the players go out and play, and the coaches and manages the players on that bench. And again, if there's a rift in that dressing room, if there's a rift between those two, then the coach has to do what he can to fix this. Like, this is one of the biggest stories on the team, if it is indeed a story, right? And it seems like it's a story based on everything we've tied together. Again, I just hope this fades off and these two figure it out and they're hugging it out after combining for a shorthanded goal or an OT winner like they've done in the past. But right now, if they continue not to see the ice together, especially on the power play, this is going to continue to be a story.
Yeah. You know what? There was that comment that Mother Knucker made earlier about Elliot Friedman too, and how much he has to play in all this. And I don't think Mother Knucker touched on that interview that Pettersson did in Florida during the All-Star game a couple of years ago, and he was blatantly asked about Miller, and Pettersson was pretty clear about them being different. Okay, not talking about beef, but them being different, right? And if I'm the Canucks, like, how come I'm letting that interview get out? You know what I'm saying? I hate all that drama. I hate all that, like, that noise that could be put out. And you know what I'm saying? Craig McEwen, what are you doing? Okay. You tell the reporters to keep it light in the room after a game. Like, you're going to let like conversations like that get out with Elliot Friedman. I don't know, man. Just some of that noise, man. It's crazy, man. I've been trying to ignore it forever. I've been trying to be the nice guy and trying to block it out. But the more and more I think about it and the more things I hear, I'm like, okay, it's true. These guys do not like each other, man.
Yeah, well, let's give the last comment to Carmen Graywall. JT Miller for Sidney Crosby. Get it done.
No. That's bullshit. Bro, because Trevor, can you end it on this and then just sign us out? Okay, my name is Calbound. Hit the like button again. It really does help us out a lot. Subscribe if you're new. Go Canucks go. I think we're winning tonight. Join the Discord. Boom, bam. But it doesn't, like, this. What's the solution? Is trading one of these guys instead of getting the best out of these guys, like the Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant thing. Like, they won 3 rings. Oh, okay, there you go. The Kobe Bryant and Shaq, they won 3 rings together, right? While they were beefing.
Yeah,
that's difficulties today.
Yeah, Kyle's getting out of bed.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I guess it's time to sign out. Okay. Anyways, Kobe and Shaq. Sorry, if I'm back, Kobe and Shaq won a lot before the move was made to get Shaquille O'Neal to Miami, right? Like that, I feel like that's got to happen here. Like, you got a 1-2 punch of Miller and Pettersson. Like, figure this out as an organization, because we never won a Stanley Cup before. It doesn't get better than this, and then move on later.
Makes a ton of
That's
sense.
where I'm at, man.
Go win that Stanley Cup, Vancouver Canucks. And again, my issue with the whole Kobe Shaq thing is that Kobe and Shaq were, arguably the two best players in the league at the time. They were McDavid and Draisaitl level. JT Miller and Elias Pettersson aren't quite there. So I do think there's got to be somewhat of a mending between the two of them, or else this Canuck team, they're going to be in some trouble, man. But that's a story for another day. Tonight, it is the Vegas Golden Knights, the Vancouver Canucks, and we got to get out of here for now. We should be back on the postcast later tonight with the creator of Locked On Canucks all liquored up. Hopefully, he'll be able to join us live from T-Mobile Arena. Stay tuned for that later on. But for now, we got to get out of here. Again, shout out from everyone, from the everydayers to the first-time listeners. We love each and every one of you. If you like what we're doing, go subscribe and like this on YouTube. On the podcast side, go follow us and leave a good old 5-star review. Again, appreciate you tuning in. I'm Trevor Beggs. That sexy mofo is Kyle Bhawan. Mother Knucker, a.k.a. Skinny D, also joined us. Shout out to him. And again, shout out to you for tuning into this episode of Locked On Canucks.